If you can relate yourself to this, either don't complain about that you are not growing in size, or listen to this training advice. Hello YouTube, Mix the Physique up here with an information video, and today's video is going to be about time and attention, about what it is, how the principle should be applied, how it looks like in practice, why it's important, and basically how it works in practice to muscle growth. I'm also going to compare time and attention training to training intensity and rep ranges, and relate the correlation between the different ways to quantify your training. Before we start off, give this video a like by pressing the thumbs up button below. It really helps my YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to my channel and press the bell so I can keep up with all my stuff. I really want to develop my content to more people. I have lots of informational stuff in my YouTube library. For example, I have made a video about how to optimize your training technique for the best hypertrophy gains. I have also made a video to comment about muscle building potential along with the training effort. I have a playlist for my contest prep in men's physique, where my contest is in September. Let's get to the point and start everything. We always hear about people discussing what is the most important for muscle growth, what works and what doesn't, what factors are important. Do you need to lift heavy or light? And time and attention comes in here as a discussing point. There are varied opinions on this topic. We always have people discussing how many seconds are optimal, if you should train based on number of seconds, how you should hit that in your training, who does it, is there something magic about it, are there any other ways to grow mass? We can discuss these points to the moon and back. Here is the thing. Time and attention is the holy grail for hypertrophy and muscle growth. 40 to 50 seconds is optimal. 30 and 60 seconds has also been documented as highly productive towards muscle growth. There are two reasons why time and attention is a precursor for muscle growth. 1. Muscle is by far the best built by constant muscle tension. The best environment for adding nuclei to a sarcomere is by setting the muscle up for a constant tensile load. 2. Quantifying time and attention actually determines the right amount of weight optimal for muscle growth. You build the most muscle by hard and controlled training in the 55 to 70% zone of your 1 rep max in a lift. On this graph you see the training intensity along with the time and attention, and here you get the idea where the optimal hypertrophy range is. Most commonly I see people doing sets of 20 to 30 seconds, and by then it's more in the category of training power output or faster strength adaptations. Most often, the same people don't lift with good lifting tempo or have a specific focus on controlling the eccentric. This isn't necessarily wrong, and I don't claim that everybody in the gym should have an insane focus on building muscle, and you can do so much other good training by other training specificities, but it's far from optimal for muscle growth. If you can relate yourself to this, either don't complain about that you are not growing in size, or listen to this training advice. Watch my other video about how to fully optimize your technique for hypertrophy. Link is in the description. You can easily relate time and attention training to training in a rep range. 8 to 25 reps has been documented as the most effective for muscle growth, and it is also what you will manage in the area of 55 to 70% of training intensity. And by good lifting technique in this rep range and going hard, you will hit 30 to 60 seconds with time and attention. Counting reps is fully applicable, but not precise. You can do a certain amount of reps, but it doesn't mean you put a constant tension on the muscle. It doesn't mean you use the muscle to control the range of motion, and sticking to a number of reps can hold you back from training hard or applying a progressive overload for a hypertrophy-specific exercise. I actually think this is a huge problem in the fitness branch, keeping people from going heavier and heavier from workout to workout. The reason why time and attention is a superior metric regarding muscle building is because tension is a precursor for muscle growth, and by monitoring time and attention or ensuring you hit the right amount of time and attention, you ensure you get in the muscle tension you need to grow. You can hit 15 reps without controlling the eccentric. The set might last 40 seconds, but it might be 30 seconds of inconsistent time and attention because you are slipping on the eccentric. When you have learned to use the muscle and ensure muscle tension, time and attention is the superior tool for creating and ensuring muscle growth. And you know you need to get in quality food. But the main point of this video is to talk about what kind of training is optimal for muscle growth. Counting reps is neither fully transferable to time and attention. You can get vastly different time and attentions for two different lifts. It depends a lot on the range of motion. For example, the shrug is a lift with a very short range of motion. Here you can shrug up and control the weight down in less than 2 seconds. Therefore, you need 20 or more reps to hit 40 seconds with time and attention. And hack squat is a very long range of motion. This video is a Smith machine squat, trying to replicate the biomechanics of the hack squat, but the properties of any kind of squat in a machine are pretty similar. I also think the time and attention is not fully transferable to squat, bench, deadlift. You are lifting more if you don't have a focus on controlling the eccentric. You take paused holds between reps, often up to 10 seconds, if you are aiming for an RPE 10 when you are training heavy squat, bench, deadlift. But these lifts, or especially when you are training them heavy for a few reps, are not made for building muscle. People who disregard time and attention are usually coaches or social media content producers for beginners and early intermediates. The problem here is that these people are not experts on building as much muscle mass as possible. They are experts for training adaptations for beginners, but don't understand the whole picture for a larger audience. Therefore, these people don't really understand the differences between real hypertrophy training in the right zone or power transfer training more in the zone of 20 to 30 seconds. They simplify it by that a beginner can progress from both. I also see people talk about monitoring time and attention, but it is as easy as filming your work set, looking at the time used on the set, and assess your lifting tempo and the degree of muscle activation. And of course assess if you have pushed yourself to the limits. I also see people arguing against time and attention with the irrational argument that there are many different ways to build muscle. And a beginner will of course grow from training in a heavier and less optimal range, or a load range with less time and attention. But the most advanced people managing to build the most muscle mass understand the principle of time and attention and use it for their training. People actually understanding the importance of time and attention are for the most part the core of the core in the bodybuilding and the fitness industry, aka the people with the biggest interest for building the most muscle mass. We always see powerlifters and weightlifters who are jacked, but there is a reason why bodybuilders are even bigger. The most optimal training for muscularity builds the most muscle. It's as easy as that. Keep it stupid simple. Ending this video, I will show a few specific sets from a few exercises specific for growing muscle. I'm going to show a set of landmine press, upper chest flies, T-bar rows, hack squats, shrugs, Romanian deadlifts, and at last barbell squats. So here we see a set of landmine press. And this is 41 seconds with time and attention. I maybe think this was 13 reps. A good way to hit the most muscle growth by this lift. And here we have a set of upper chest flies on my knees. By chance, the second upper chest exercise. And here we got 49 seconds with time and attention, slightly more than on the landmine press. And the next exercise here is T-bar rows, a kind of a compound lift. However, it's meant to be a pure hypertrophy exercise on the traps. And this became 41 seconds with time and attention, and I maybe think this was close to 15 reps. This exercise I think is good to do for more reps. And my set of hack squats, as I say, longer range of motion, fewer reps. I think I'm only at around 10 reps on this set. And this became precisely 40 seconds with time and attention. Further, my set of shrugs, a ton of reps, over 20 reps on this set to put on the tension you want. And this also became precisely 40 seconds with time and attention. So my tips for the best neck and trap gains is lowering the weight on the shrugs, control it, and keep your rep count in the 20s. And here is a set of Romanian deadlifts. I would also mention this is a compound lift, aiming to train both hamstrings, glutes, and the erector, so the tension in each muscle will not be constant. This is why I think compound lifts are not as good to put on the muscle mass as isolations. And this became 48 seconds with time and attention, with the caveat about that we don't know what actually is tension on the specific muscles. And here is how this works for the squat, and this is a 15 rep set on 110 kilograms, and this is obviously not the best hypertrophy builder or trying to make the most constant tension on the quads. This is really a lift activating lots of muscles. and this became 75 seconds with time, but we don't know what actually is tension. The eccentric is always less control in such a compound movement. I also have lots of post holds to lift more and have better control. Therefore, this is less than 75 seconds with non-constant tension on any of the muscles I'm aiming to hit on the squat. So just think about this when you are doing compound lifts. So I think that's everything you need to know about time and attention. Try to apply it for your training. Learn how to control the weight the most by the muscle with constant activation and good lifting tempo, and aim to make 40 to 50 seconds with time and attention a habit. When you have done that, you will understand why it's a superior tool for muscle growth, and why the 7 reppers in your training are not giving you the gains you want. And if you like this video, consider giving it a like by pressing the thumbs up button below. It truly helps my algorithm. Comment down below, how do you train to build the most muscle? What rep range are you training in? Do you hit 40 seconds with time and attention? Subscribe to my channel to keep up with my stuff, and of course so more people can get access to my content. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.